Welcome, world. I am What If Studia, and this is What If Deku was the son of Saxon Hale. So, Deku starts out his life as, the son of Saxon Hale. Now, Saxon Hale wanted the perfect baby, so he had the best genetics infused into him, basically. And now he wanted to raise his son just like how he was raised in the wild. So, he puts him inside of his Yeti enclosure and calls it a day. Of course, this is where the mercenaries are also locked up as, like the entertainment and stuff. So, basically, they start fighting there, and Heavy finds this baby just randomly walking around, says that this is no place for a baby to be walking around, and puts him on his back. Now he will stay there until he turns around 5, as he wards off, spies trying to backstab him, which Heavy is very thankful, and they sort of bond over this. The rest of the team gets, used to Deku, and starts to become, like, kind of a family for him. His sort of, all-male family. Kind of weird, but, he becomes much more, just really into it with all of them. So basically, all of them become his sort of family in a way. So each one of them fills a filling role. Scout's his little brother. He's competing with him to become like the best out of all of them. And then you got they got Pyro, who's a great listener. To listen to his problems. When you can't talk, you're a great listener, right? Now, freaking Medic's kind of, just classic, I guess. Mother kind of just taking care of him. Spy kind of wants to teach him to be much more cordial than he is right now, as he's a very brutish type of guy. His father, Heavy, sort of takes him in and becomes his sort of the father type. Taking care of Deku and making sure that he's fine once in a while. Now he's trained in most of their weapons, however, he likes to use his fist most out of all of them, which Heavy gives him a pair of bear claws as his sort of main weapon. Now Deku is trained. Heavy doesn't exactly want him to become a sort of an infiltrator, so he fights with Spy about this, and they go back and forth about this a lot, resulting in a lot of fights happening. So after a while, once he turns 10, they sort of have him actually fight with them. And so he starts to learn a lot of their techniques and how to fight with them, and becomes more of a strategic type of guy while also brutish. He's a jack of all trades at this point. Once he turns 15, all the whole entire Manco stuff is done. I don't think Man of Machines hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. But definitely everybody's retired by this point. I'm just going to speed up their ages, basically. So Soldier's like 48 by this point, so he's old and shit. And Soldier was kind of his older brother and stuff. So, they have a lot of fun just messing around with stuff because they're both boneheaded. And they both kind of, have a synergy that nobody really else has with him. Anyways, they, once he turns 15, he, everybody kind of retires, including, like, the NG and people like that. So, Spy says that he needs to actually go out there and be, like, part of himself, part of some other organization than, Manco. He really needs to get away from all this. Now, Deku accepts this and says that he'll just go into the city and see what he can do. And Spy's like, I have a better idea. Now he holds up a sort of poster that said, like, join the League of Villains, signed the League of Villains. It was like coordinates to their freaking arena thing, and he's like, I do not recommend putting coordinates straight to you, but whatever. They might be able to give you some money for jobs. Mercenary hiring. That sounds right up your alley, doesn't it? So Deku's like, of course. Let us start. Now Soldier sneaks out behind them, trying to help out. He tells everybody except Heavy, as Heavy would like try to stop him and stuff. But however, Heavy catches him while he's trying to, escape, and instead of stopping him, he gives him bear gloves, the two that he had been using for his whole entire life. Heavy. So basically, silently, they don't even talk. They just walk away. So Spy gives him like his dead ringer, and his knife, I guess. Engineer tells them that he can teleport them straight into the city. So he does, and they're teleported straight into the black market. right next to the black market. So they continue down, going to the black market, which Spy knows all about, and then all there is Soldier and freaking Deku just staring at everything around them, like in bewilderment, like this is crazy to them. Spy pushes them through one curtain, which leads into a huge underground arena with all these brawls and fights going on and people banging in the stands with like huge bulletin boards and stuff. Just this huge underground arena shit. And it's just like mosh pits next to it and stuff, just watching this shit. There's like badass music playing over it. It's pretty cool. Freaking Deku's like repulsed a little bit because this is crazy. Like there's people dying in there. And then freaking Soldier on the end just being like, hey, yeah, get him! And starts like betting and stuff. Spy is like, I'll sign you up. Do not worry. I think you'll do great. He's like, really? I'm kind of nervous. Do not worry. If you're nervous, you die. Go get him, champ. So he gets thrown into the arena, and he can see All For One just sitting there staring at all the contenders. He's tempted to take out All For One, but, you know, he feels like, you know, maybe not the best idea to go straight for the biggest guy in the room. And then there's a huge drop of gigantic, you know, weapons in the middle of this gigantic, you know, island in the middle of all the mercenaries. And then they start the countdown, which a bunny girl comes out and starts counting down, as she has a quirk for that shit. And then go! And Deku starts running. A few guys with speed quirks, you know, dash straight into the middle of it, you know, start picking out some guns and firing at him. However, his skin is around thick enough to stop bullets by this point. And also, the guys that made when they made this arena, they made all the bullets lead, just so that the battle can last out longer. Evil, right? Genius, though. So they basically bounce off of Deku's skin as he charges straight through those guys. A sniper bolt goes straight past his face, which barely misses, as he yells at the top of his lungs, kind of shattering the freaking guy's eardrums. He calms himself down and then tries to jump as hard as he can, but barely missing because of his natural lack of knowledge about his own position. He grabs onto the ledge, pulling himself up, readying himself for a battle against the sniper. Just one of the guys that was out there, but he figures out when he punches the guy's chest out and rips open it, it shows cybernetics on the inside. He's made completely out of robot. He said he's very confused by this, but proceeds to destroy the robot, taking up the sniper and trying to shoot a few heads. He was never taught in snipery, so he wasn't great at this. Instead, he just uses it as a bashing tool, basically just knocking some people out of the way, and then bashing in one of the heads of like the robots, like the spies, as he grabbed one out of the air. He runs around all just willy-nilly, just having fun with all this killing and stuff. He just bashes people off the edge. He has a gigantic pan now that he can just slap down. Until one of the he feels a sharp pain in his back as he looks back, seeing the two spies around, readying up a stab to his back, which he can't stop, until a gigantic sniper bolt straight through their heads. He looks over to see the sniper, the actual sniper this time, firing on his location, helping him out. He says thanks for the sniper. Sniper says, it's nothing. Shaking his head, he starts firing again. They both destroy the competition and finally round about all these freaking machines. About 20 people are left in the round as suddenly a gigantic behemoth bashes through the wall. Deku says, oh, now this is a challenge. He hops as hard as he can, jumping straight at the behemoth. Sniper says, no, don't do it, as he suddenly punched straight back into the ground, bashing back onto his back. He spits out blood out of his mouth. He looks up to the sky as he sees the blinding lights around him. He was concussed by that. He gets back up, stripping off one of the grenades off of his belt, throwing it at the bolted behemoth. It chomps onto it and explodes in his mouth, barely doing any damage to him, but broke his jaw until it was healed all the way up, as the medic behind him was hiding the whole time, sitting across on his shoulder. Sniper readies up a shot, but needs them to be still for 2 seconds. Deku gets an idea. He takes out his machine gun. Takes out one of the machine guns that was inside of the chest. He takes out. He rushes straight at the bolted behemoth. As the bolted behemoth throws down its hands, it crushes his body, killing him. But then he turns up right behind him, jumping onto his back, taking out the machine gun and aiming it straight at his head, bursting through his head with so many shots. It drills down through his head, destroying it, falling him to the ground as the medic struggles to get up, Ubering him and making him get back up. But suddenly the medic gets shot through the head. The behemoth gets back up, seeing its dead medic now. It starts to go enraged. All of its metal starts to boil as if there was a thick sheet of metal that was heating all of it. His rage exploded as it grabbed Deku's leg, throwing him as hard as it can into a wall, bashing his elbow against it and his head, concussing him once more and giving him a huge blood clot on his head. The sniper struggles to shoot his head as is running right at him. Deku says, "Run now!" But Sniper jumps as hard as he can, but is grabbed by the legs, and then crushed his legs. The bolted behemoth smiles in unremorseful lust. He lets Sniper go to the ground as Sniper just stares at his legs, freaked out and unable to even talk. The bolted behemoth readies up final strike as Deku is rushing as hard as he can. He takes out his machine gun. He picks up one of the rocket launchers, shooting it as hard as he can under his feet, shot putting himself all the way down, all the way over, although hurting his backside. He takes out his the knife that he had gotten from Spy. He grabs onto his face like a starfish, taking out the knife and then just shoving it as hard as he can down into the core. Being thrown down, however, he can't get back up. This almost broke his back just trying to do that. The behemoth is looking for the knife on its back. While it's distracted, he takes out the machine gun, starts firing it as hard as he can. Sniper gets back up, keeping the machine gun firing at the bolted behemoth, but is doing physically nothing. The behemoth picks up the machine gun, crushing it in its hands, looking back down at the sniper, realizing that Deku's gone. He suddenly feels a tug at his leg. He gets pulled out from under him onto the side. Its legs dangle out on the bottom. As Deku climbs up as far as he can, the bolted behemoth struggles to pick itself up off the ledge. As Deku bashes in its head, bashes in its face, as it lets go of one hand, grabbing Deku, trying to pull him down with it. Trying to pull him down with it into the water. It holds it. It locks him into its arms, as he can't get out until time is called. Deku was still above the surface while it had finished, so technically he's still in. But is he alive? Suddenly you see like some metal parts rise to the surface as Deku appears out of the water, one hand in the air and the other holding its arm, the bolted behemoth's arm. He had to rip it fully off just to get out. He falls immediately on his face as the medic is finally warned of this whole thing, and he appears through a teleporter into the underground, healing up Deku, telling him it was foolish to go for that, as he didn't even need to destroy it. He would have gotten enough points anyways to compete. Deku, of course, laughs and says, "Why, I wasn't trying to compete at all. I was only here for the killing." Medic face palms, and as of course, Spy feels a little bit proud. However, he used all of his weapons correctly and uses them to their greatest effect. Spy was happy with this outcome. However, a freaking soldier was not, as he didn't even get to crush any heads or anything. He feels great. He wanted action, But, for now, he'll have to wait in the sidelines. Suddenly, All For One comes out, levitating on a floating, smoking chair, like a cowl of darkness in the night. He stands above all of them, speaking only a few words, saying, "Come to this destination at this time. If you don't, you will be killed. You are all hired. Congratulations." Spy is, of course, concerned and also freaked out at the same time, realizing who that was and who he had just signed up to fight with. Deku, of course, is like, "Hey, it couldn't be that bad. That's All For One, you idiot! All of you! We need to help him get through this. If he doesn't go, he'll be killed." Everybody's saying, "He can't be that powerful. He's more powerful than Saxton Hale could ever be." What? How are we supposed to compete with that? Deku says, "I don't think we're supposed to. We just have to go along with it." "I guess you are correct, Deku. Meet this man at that location, and hope, just hope, pray. You can earn his respect." And that'll be it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, world. I'll just see you in anywhere, really. Bye.